Today, we're back on the river.
I think I can see a whole bottle in there.
Hey guys, I'm on Edisto Island here in South Carolina.
Now, I say back on the river, but this is a river we've not been on before. A few people have commented, oh, we're looking forward to when you're back on the river. So, we've come over to Taff Bargoed River in the village of Bedlinog. What are we going to find? I haven't got a clue. We've come here blind, just Googled it, and of course, we're aware of the village and its presence, because it's near where I once worked, and it's famous on our channel for all those who watch the intros to the live show as we did the drive up through Bedlinog village. And what a village, what a hill. But today we're here to get in and have a look at the river. So come on folks, let's go see what we can find.
Look at this cute garage that we're passing on the way down. It's very old and very tatty. It's got a really interesting sign on the top. Den Crop Fireproof Garage, Bedlinog.
I love how polite that notice is. Kindly refrain from parking opposite this garage. Thank you.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Now that's the way to ask, isn't it?
Look at this cute garage too. Whoops, looks like somebody's been trying to break in there. But isn't it lovely? Tin sheeting on the outside, big metal hinges, and a very big lock. But it seems like an unsuccessful lock. It didn't work. Today I got some new wellies, so I have to christen them. So come on, pop your wellies on, we're going in. Oh, that's cool, but it's dry, so I'm happy. What's this? Oh, that's pretty. That's a big old pot. Very dark sombre colours on that. Not as jolly and pretty as we usually find. And what's this? Not quite sure. That could just be a broken bit of a stone. Oh, this looks like a coin. Can you see it? I'm pretty sure it's not. It's one of those naughty stones. Yep. Look at that. They catch me every time. There's a bit of metal here, no idea what that is. It's long past its best. Well, we got a whitehead Cumbrawn brick. Well, half a whitehead Cumbrawn brick. Anything else here? Let's have a look. What's this? Oh, a little bit of like 50s wall tile. Nothing exciting. But look at the plants. The riverbanks are coming back to life. And this is a lovely area because there is no knotweed that I can see. It's quite unusual because wherever we go in the British waterways there seems to be some knotweed, but nope, this is all completely natural, nothing brought in from Japan. Well, nothing I know of anyway. So let's carry on down the river. It's a gorgeous day. Look at that dapple sunshine coming through the trees, and Phil is already very keen and much further ahead than me. Do you need to cut anything? There's a scissor with one blade on it. I'm sure it's useful for something, no idea what. Oh look, there it is. We always find one. It's a ball. What's a mudlark without finding a ball? Ooh, this is a kite list. Number 1. Up there is a rugby field with a fence, which certainly isn't rugby ball proof. Look what I found! An even bigger ball! Sitting in the river all on its own, poor thing.
Our decision to actually search this particular part of the Taffbargoed River first was because it's located right alongside a rugby pitch, and as we say, it's always worth checking alongside municipal playing fields and such like when they're near rivers, because on occasion they are built on rubbish dumps. There's no guarantees, but you only find out by looking. But of course, being alongside the rugby pitch, Caroline found the rugby ball, and rather than take it home, I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it over the fence onto the rugby field for one of the lads to pick up, because obviously it's one of theirs lost in training.
Well, you're very optimistic. It's rather high.
Well, here we go. First thing I've got to do is today I am armed with an umbrella. It may be June, it may be Wales, but at the end of the day it does tend to rain in Wales in June. So
Yep.
There we go. That can go down. And let's have a look what we can do. Shall I try kicking it?
You can try.
Oh, I'm going to play for Wales.
Oh, here we go. The crowds are roaring.
A kick
It's
from
all
in the
down
river.
to Mr. Phil Johnson.
Ah!
Can he score? Ooh.
Yes!
Yes, well done. The champion.
As well as my umbrella today, I am carrying in the other hand, look at this. Thanks to Talbot's mum for sending a few of these, so I get to have one as well. And it's got a super spring grip. When you close it, it actually is quite a good steady as you walk along, because I'm not carrying my stick today. And it's aided me to pick up one or two little bits and pieces out of the river as I go along, and I'll show you them now.
Let's have a look what you got then, Mr. Johnson.
Right, I noticed you found a scissors earlier.
Yeah.
Well, I found a screwdriver.
Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. Perfect condition other than being old, tatty and rusty. Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It's one of those.
It's definitely one of those.
Yes.
If it's not one of those, it's one of them.
Not sure which.
Then look at that for a bit of a chunk of a plate.
Oh yes, very old, isn't it?
It is. That's the thing.
Yeah.
With the little bits I'm finding are plain, but they've been in the water for some time.
Yeah.
Definitely. And see that there's just the faintest gold line around there. Can you see it?
Oh yes.
Bit of posh. And two other little bits of pottery. I thought they were both plain, but as that's
Yep.
drying out, look.
Yeah, that's the usual pale blue pattern we find.
Yeah, and then that is quite old.
Yeah. Nothing on it, but
No.
an old piece.
And I don't know, what's that?
Oh, that's glass. It's a glass
Glass
tile,
tile?
I would say. Yep.
Small glass tile that's
Yep.
broken off.
From somebody's bathroom.
And then a bit of scrap,
Oh, you do love your scrap.
but it's
Oh, look at
it's
that.
part of oh, what do they call them?
Is it a hopper?
Yeah, hopper, rain hopper, like the tin dish thing that's at the top of a downpipe.
Oh, wow.
So there we go.
Treasure.
There we are, nice form there, look, a little bit of scrap. It's bits and pieces, no wonderful treasures at the moment. There doesn't seem to be a dump under this particular rugby pitch, so perhaps in a moment we'll take our walk a little further upriver and see how we do there.
I can see two bits of china in the water, so let's pick this one up first. Looks white, but is there anything on the other side? There's white. Well, there's something, I can't see what it is. Probably an old Victorian tile, but it's well washed to death, that one. I can see something there. that makes this mudlark complete. It's some ridged pottery. What is a mudlark without ridged pottery?
And I have a bit of tile, I think, as well.
Oh yes, piece of white tile. That's a chunky one.
It is rather chunky, isn't it? And very, very shiny.
Ooh, I think that's a jaw. Have a look. Put it on there. Yeah, for those of you who like animal bones, there's a piece of jaw, probably of a sheep, I would think, because there are so many sheep around here. And this one is long gone.
Okay everyone, we're just about to climb up out of the river and head back to the car to go further along in the village. And I've spotted something here, and as Caroline would say, is it a twig or a pipe stem? What do you think? I'm going to check it out. That, my friends, is a gorgeous little piece of pipe stem, and I'm well chuffed. On a river we've not checked out before, and with the few finds we've had so far, I am thrilled with that. Can't wait to just climb up the bank in and show Caroline. I found something.
Ooh, what have you found, Mr. Johnson?
Aha! I will show you in a moment.
Right.
As you know, I just ventured a little further than yourself to take that lovely footage of the stream, which I'm sure so many of our friends will have enjoyed. And on the way back, I found two things.
Two things?
One is on film, one is not.
Right.
One was this bit of tile.
Oh, that's nice.
So I found that.
Yeah.
But this you like.
Oh, will I?
And everyone was there with me. They know this is a genuine out of the river.
Oh, wow, it's a bit of pipe stem.
I did not expect that.
Excellent.
With the return we were getting from this stretch of river, I did not expect a bit of pipe stem. But there you go.
That's excellent.
I knew you'd like it.
Well done, Mr. Johnson.
And while I'm here, let me just take you across to the rugby post, because I work just down the road here in Taff Merthyr Colliery. That's where I spent my mining career, as a colliery fitter. And I remember the colliery making the rugby posts for this place, and the one thing I recall is the decorations on the top. Can you see them up there? A pair of foxes adorning the top of the rugby posts here at Bedlinog Rugby Football Club. Right. And the foxes up on top of the goalposts on the rugby pitch, they are an emblem for the rugby pitch, but also a drawn from the possible origins of the name of Bedlinog. Because Bedlinog originally were three small hamlets dotted around, which grew and grew after the sinking of the first colliery here. And it was that growing village that took the name Bedlinog. Three possible translations. The most favoured one is the Grave of the Fox, because this was a big fox hunting area back in its day. Some think it's another translation from a mutation of the words in Welsh for Birch Grove. And one I particularly like is Cynog's grave, because Cynog was a Celtic saint who was around the same period as the patron saint of Wales, St David, 6th century Celtic saint. But probability is, as the foxes prove, it was the fox's lair and then the fox's grave that gave it its name. And those collieries that contributed significantly to the growth of this community, so that it reached 5,000 inhabitants by World War I, were the Bedlinog pit and the Nantwen. And the building behind me is the local workman's hall. And there's a plaque just up on the top there stating how it was the workmen at those two collieries, combined with the people of the village, and also a £100 gift from the Bedlinog Eisteddfod Committee that brought this building into being. And it's this building that links me to this village, because I worked in Taff Merthyr down the road. Now, Taff Merthyr came later because these collieries were worked out by the early 20s, and by 1924 people were losing their jobs left, right and centre, and there was real problems for the community. But just down the road, a new modern big pit was being sunk, Taff Merthyr. 1922 they sunk the first shaft, 1924 they sunk the second, and at the end of the 1926 general strike it opened for business, employing over 1,500 men. So jobs for the whole of this community, the men here and the men in Trelewis below and around the area. In fact, they opened a little station alongside for men to travel to work on the railway line, and the Bedlinog Urban District Council was running buses for the workmen to come in to Taff Merthyr. It was 1934, mind, before they got a pithead baths, so the men were still coming home and bathing in the tin bath in front of the fire at the house. But the collieries that created this community also brought the fame and notoriety of this community, because Bedlinog became a place of resistance, and the news went national, because when they opened Taff Merthyr colliery, the owners of the colliery, the Powell Dyffryn and Ocean Company, they decided no worker could join the union. If you went to Taff Merthyr, you had to join the company's union. Anybody joining the Independent Federation was not allowed to have a job. This caused a lot of strife. By 1934 that became a major issue and a big strike. So big there were riots in the streets, and they brought police officers from as far as Liverpool and Bristol to Bedlinog. There were pitched battles in the street, there were riots, there were stay down strikes, and there was a stay down strike years later, and that was at the Mardy colliery, and that was the catalyst for the beginnings of another industrial action that lasted a year, that went national. And for me, I was part of that strike. I was on strike for that year. I was a member of the union in Taff Merthyr, and it was in this building that the vote was taken, speeches were made, and the decision was carried that we were on strike. So that militancy, that defiance, that independent thinking, that determination to be able to shape our future continued through generations. And even today, though all the mines have gone, there's still a proud heritage within this village for the history that they have. And it's still a thriving community, although the majority now have to commute not into the area to find work at the pits, but out of the area to find work elsewhere. Well, we'd better get on and have a look at what else we can find. So here we are upriver. We've driven half a mile through the village, and lovely little footbridge which gives us hopes that people pass this way and have done for a century, and an access to the river, which is always vital on trips like this. So let's see what we can find. Now we're at the far end, north side of Bedlinog village.
What have you got, Mr. Johnson?
I know I'm not the first today, but holding out hope for this location on the river. Again, what is a mudlark without?
Ridge pottery!
And that's a genuine bit of marmalade jar.
Oh no, that looks like the bottom of somebody's shoe. Oh.
Metal shoe?
A metal bottom of a shoe? Well, I've never come across one of those before. Very unusual. Does anybody know why or which shoes have metal in the bottom? Certainly not very comfortable if that's the insole. Oh, what have you got, Mr. Johnson?
I found these three little pieces.
Ooh,
quite
nice.
Close together, so obviously all off the same piece.
Yeah.
But I've no idea what that would have been.
No.
Possibly a rather pretty jardiniere, do you
I think something like that, yeah.
Sort of thing you'd put a potted plant in on a stand.
Yep, that's what I'd go for.
So there we go. Bits of china and a metal insole.
And a gorgeous river to explore. Look at that. Oh, come on, I can't wait to get up there. Let's get on our way. We're out and about on the river and looking at how beautiful it is. I've been wondering where to get a boat. And then what do you know, like a miracle, one appeared for us. And it's not going to cost us a penny. Hey, look at that. We've got our very own boat.
Hang on, let's see if he sails.
Oh, I found a piece of glass. It's got ewer, so I'm saying that's ewery, as in brewery. Very thick glass, so that bodes well. Just goes to show there is some older rubbish around here that will be interest us. I can also see something up there. We'll go and take a closer look. It's that big white thing. And there it is. It's another rugby ball. Whoa, that's quite a lot of rugby balls. Now there is a field up there, but that's got horses in. It seems to be owned by somebody who has horses. So I've no idea where this came from.
But it definitely didn't come from the rugby pitch.
No, it's too
because
far away.
We've travelled half a mile. We've travelled half a mile upriver. And it's not going to have floated upriver for half a mile. So not being near the rugby pitch. And it's rather faded to the last one and not in the same condition. I think this deserves to go home and find a new life with us.
Yep. Well, it's a rugby ball and ridge pottery day today. We haven't found much ridge pottery lately, and now we're finding quite a lot. What's this here? The bottom of a plate. Oh, it's one of those light blue patterns. We do find quite a few of those. It's got a pretty pattern. Somebody's purse here. A credit card holder. Completely emptied out, so we can't identify whose it is. And nothing in it, so we don't need to contact somebody and say we found your wallet anyway. Oh, there's a nice little wooden tub. I don't think it's owned. I think it's one you get from the garden centre. It's really pretty, but not very well.
Now, you said about how much ridge pottery, look.
Another bit, it's everywhere.
And my second Ebervale brick of the day, but the last one was a yellow one in the water. There's a red one up on the side.
Mm.
Look at that pretty tile.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
It's modern, but it's pretty.
Probably 70s or 80s, something like that. But it is pretty, yes. Oh, there's a springs from an old bed over there. Let's go have a look.
Oh.
I bet some children have had some fun playing on that bed. They were like little mini trampolines. What you found?
Now, at first I thought, oh, what a lovely piece of glass. Then I realised it had a plastic bit on the bottom.
Ah, right.
But they are very posh solar lights, I think. And where that's such a beautiful piece of glass,
Yeah.
and where there are two of them,
Oh, yes, there's another one.
I think you've got to take those, and we're bound to find some use for that.
That one's still got the solar bit on, but I don't think it's going to work.
There we go. I'm going to pop those in the bag with the ball. I think they'll find a craft project just for them.
Oh, this is interesting. I'm not sure what it is. Do you think I'm right that it could be something like one of the ashtrays or match strikers off the back of a bus seat? It reminds me a little bit of it, but it's a bit flimsy, so it could be even older from when they used flimsy ones. What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments if you've got any idea what that is. And let's wander along, see if there's anything else. Lots of bits of pipe and bits of modern glasses and things like that. Some little lead nuggets. Oh, what's that? Oh. Now that I think could be from the same thing. What do you reckon? Oh, I'm not really sure now. Seen two different ones. Is it that somebody had a bus firm and they scrapped the buses here? I think it may be too deep to go that way, but Phil is going to go on ahead and be brave and see if he sinks or not. And I'm going to walk over here because I've seen something interesting. I don't know what it is. I think it's probably modern, but it may not be. Let's have a look. Oh yes, it's a modern candle holder. rather bent. Probably originally had a little glass liner in there to hold the candle. Poor thing isn't looking very well, is it? What's your verdict, Mr. Johnson? Are we going to get through?
If you can get to about here, then we should be alright.
Right, okie dokie.
I'll wait here and...
That doesn't bode well, does it?
I'll wait here again.
Very slippery, so I'm going to turn the camera off because otherwise you're going to get motion sickness.
Okay, I think we're going to have to pop over to the next valley and have a little look on another river in order to conclude this particular video, because not only is the water getting rather deep and I don't fancy going in much further, but there's no point anyway, because look, somebody's fenced off the river from this point on. So time for us to just pop out of this particular river, the Taff Bargoed, and nip over to the Sirhowy, and we'll carry on the search there. But while we drive across, why not join me over in the shed and have a look what I've been doing. Welcome to the shed, and I'm just going to have a little go at a project that came out of the finds that I had given to me by Mary and John. If you remember, I had the teapot that had spouts in it, and I thought of the idea of adding the spouts. So I'm going to see now if I can take off the handle, add a few spouts, and have a look exactly what it will look like, because it seemed to be a popular concept. People had ideas, variations, I should say, on the theme. Some were thinking making an octopus, others were thinking turn it upside down so that the spouts would act like feet. But the thing I need to be doing first is to get the spouts on and see if it comes together. So that's what I'm going to do right now. It's lovely of you to join me, but let's get on with the work. So here it is, one finished piece with the 4 spouts, and picking up on the cream there, we've got the cream here, we've got the different shades of the browns of the spouts, and I think it looks neat. As we were picking it up out of the bag that day, it just dawned on me that this could look good. As you saw when I was fixing them, I did it upside down, so these are now fairly level. So if I decide, as some have suggested, to actually display it this way and use it as a plinth, there we go, so something to adorn the top, it can be done. On the other hand, of course, as I suggested, I might put it up this way and pot up a little plant and pop it in the top. That would look good as well. And of course, I could use it, as old teapots are often used, just for keepsakes, just to pop things in. And if I do that, then I've got a little lid here that's been picked up along the way. That would look nice. Or I can mix it up a bit more and pop a white lid on, or a cream lid. I think that would look nice as well. There you go. Now I also have a concept that could show this off a little better perhaps, and that is, you won't be surprised, I found this base, just the bottom of a pot. All of the pot is gone. But if I just turn it up, pop it on, then it makes the perfect stand for my teapot. What are you thinking? I'll show you that more closely in a moment before we go back over and search for treasure on the Sirhowy. But first, I want to share with you something super special this week, and that is a viewer's video. We haven't had one in a while, and boy has this one been worth waiting for. It's our friend Phyllis from Tennessee, who has taken a trip to a very, very special location. I'll let her share that with you now, and I'll see you in a moment.
Hey guys, I'm on Edisto Island here in South Carolina looking for fossils. I'm on Edisto Beach right now, and it's part of the state park, but you can fossil hunt here, you can look for shark's teeth, you can shell, which people love to do, lots of different types of shells here, and let's see what we can find today. And this is where sea turtle mom has come and gone. Laid her eggs probably last night. So I'm camping at Edisto Beach State Park, and it's raining. So let's look at some finds from inside the car. This is the mouth plate of a pufferfish that I found this week. This is a bird skull I found this week. This is probably part of a tooth. This is the mouth plate of a stingray. Those are pretty easily identified once you kind of get in your mind what they look like. And these are, this is a stingray barb, another part of a mouth plate, stingray mouth plate, and another piece of stingray barb. Now this piece is a piece of Native American pottery that I found on the beach here yesterday. And another man-made object. This is a piece of pottery that is worn down. There was a town called Eddingsville just north of Edisto Beach that was washed away by a hurricane in the late 1800s, and it's not unusual to find pieces of china, bottles, all those kinds of things. So that's always a treat. This large piece here, this piece of bone is, I don't know what it is. It's interesting. It's very heavy. Be interesting to look that up. Found that at the high tide line, as you might. These two pieces are probably deer antler. They're common to find on the beach here. And also common to the beach area are these pieces of pond turtle. Now, the pond turtle fossils look so much like what we know turtles today to look like. And they're pretty easy to recognize. This little piece here is softshell turtle. Now, I used a book called Fossil Vertebrates that is out of print probably. It's by M.C. Thomas, that will help you identify things, or at least come close to it, when you see things, fossils on a beach. This is an alligator scoot. And this is what I use to collect with. These are all the things that I found that I have no idea what they are, except that I know they're fossil. There's my homework.
Well, wasn't that absolutely incredible? And what a lovely place for Phyllis to be spending a few days. And thank you, Phyllis, for sharing that with us all. I'm sure so many other people will be as impressed and as entertained as we were watching that beautiful video that you made. Okay, let's show you the pot on its plinth and then back to the river. So here we are on another river. Jumped 2 valleys. We're on the Sirhowy. Came over from the Taff Bargoed. Lovely time over there. chance to reminisce some of my history of working alongside that river. But now we're going to continue the search here on the Sirhowy and see if we can pick up a few other bits and pieces to take back to the shed.
I love the peace and tranquility of the river. But that doesn't stop me looking at the ground, and I've seen something down here I think is a wheel of a toy, possibly. What do you think? I think it could be. Not quite sure. Could be a button or something. And there's such a lot of broken glass and bits and pieces. Look at this, that would have been off somebody's front door. A little bit of frosted glass. Not a lot of it left, but it's lovely. And the usual array of broken bits and pieces.
You want to see what I found?
Oh, what have you found, Mr. Johnson?
I have found something that's not broken.
Not broken, that's quite an achievement today. What have you got?
Well, on a day of bits and pieces, where in fairness to Taffbargad River, it did produce a number of bits of rich pottery.
It did.
How's that for...
Oh, is that hole?
It is whole.
No hole in the bottom?
No.
Oh wow, that was quite a nice find.
Yeah, I've just cleaned the muck out, so I'm going to take it out of the river and give it a wash.
Oh, very nice. Aha, it looks like a seam of iron. Let's have a look and see what we can find. Is any of this old? There's a grid of something. Not quite sure what. And what's that? Oh no, that's a speaker, I think. And a stick. Ah, not quite as much iron as I thought there was. It's just this colour in the water. So we keep looking. Oh, there's another piece of iron there. There's a piece of rod. And let's go have a look. Oh, is that another piece of iron? Yep, another bit. There is a lot of iron here then. Let's have a look up in the bank in here. See if anything's falling out. Lots of roots, and sometimes you'll see a whole bottle just hanging, but not very often. Usually the bottle diggers get here first and dig them out. If we don't dig into the banking because it's undermining it a little bit. If you look up there, there's a path, and they're forever having to do remedial works because the banking is collapsing. You can see the roots of the trees where the river's been washing the soil away. Oh, there's a nice little hole in there for some creature to live in if they fancy it. Oh, some Tarzan vines. Whee, we can go swinging through the jungle on these. Should we try? Hold tight. Whee! Bonk. Oh, that was fun. I pulled some stones away from this, but I'm wondering if it's an old camera. Let's have a look. Wash it. No, it's not a camera, I don't think. What do you think that is, Phil?
No idea.
It's strange, isn't it? It looks like a camera with no lens.
Yeah, not some kind of battery, is it?
I don't know, it's got like a leather cover on it or some sort of faux leather, something like that.
I cleaned up my pot.
Oh, that's looking nice.
And also picked up
Oh,
some nice blues.
Beautiful willow pattern, lovely.
Yeah, that piece there is a lovely rich colour blue, that one.
Very nice.
But, so I'll drop those in here.
So we've got a mystery object. What do you think that is, everyone? It looks like a camera, but it hasn't got a lens, so it can't really be a camera.
No, it's quite solid. It's the plate behind that seems quite solid, isn't it?
So what do you think?
I may have solved the mystery.
Ooh, what is it?
See, that lifts. And that opens.
And
In here, this is rubber.
right.
So something was contained in it. Now I think a scissors went in there.
Right.
See, there's a little sheath there. So a nail file,
Ah, yeah, could be.
tweezers,
Yeah.
eye
Oh, one of-
pencil or something.
Oh, one of those ear spoons for scooping your ear out.
So I think it was a little vanity case.
I'd say probably from 50s, 40s, 50s, would you say?
Yeah, that folded over like that, and that clipped round the side, and you've got yourself one vanity case.
Oh, well, I wouldn't want to use it nowadays, but I'm sure it was lovely when it was brand new. little bit of... Oh, it's ridge pottery again. Oh, is that a car? Oh, it's a metal car. No, I don't think it's that old. We can date it by the age of the car, so if it's like a 1970s car, we know it's not a 1950s model.
Matchbox, I believe. Right then. I'm sure that's a bit clearer on the camera than it is to my eyes, even with glasses on.
Yep,
but I think that could be Matchbox at the top.
Yeah.
So we'll take it home, clean it up, and why not join us on the live show on Saturday night, 9 o'clock, and we'll show you a little bit more information about our lovely toy car.
Oh, there's a bit of handle. Well, it's not a bit of handle, it's the whole thing. It's rusty, but you can still see the holes where it's attached to something. Probably an old cooking pot. Oh, that's a pleasant thing to find, that. And this is a pleasant view. Look at that river. Oh, look, there's another mudlarker. Hello, Mr. Mudlarker.
Hello!
Now, that is an interesting piece of pottery. I haven't been picking up many broken bits on this little bit of the mudlark, but that's got a Z on it. Oh, now I don't recognise what that's off. Do any of you recognise something that you know that's off? Is it an advertising piece? Is it a commemorative piece? I have no idea. Please let me know in the comments if you've got any clue at all, or even a silly guess.
I found a brick!
Oh, you found a brick!
I have found a brick!
Oh, what's it on that brick?
The very first one of these I ever found was on this river.
Right.
It's
Oh, Tulare!
Tulare.
As in Abertulare.
Or Cum Tulare.
Cum Tulare, could be.
Oh, there we go. Lovely name, innit? Tulare.
Very nice find.
Ooh.
You don't need another brick.
Just in case I pop it in the bag, you never know.
I knew you were going to.
Hello.
What have you got?
I have a question for you
A question, right?
that
okay.
leads to my find.
What's the question?
How does Santa like to keep the weeds down in his garden?
With a ho ho ho?
A ho ho ho!
Oh, there you
And
go.
I found a hoe.
Santa's hoe. Very nice.
I think that's been in the water a little too long to be useful.
Yep, I think so. I think I can see a whole bottle in there. Let's have a look. Oh, I think it is. It is. Whoa, now that's very heavy. Full of mud. I can't see what's written on the bottom.
I can see
What does it say?
Williams Narberth.
Oh, right, Narberth. That's down Tenby way, West Wales.
Very nice. Williams of Narberth. That's what that is.
Yep, and this year, this very tall plant is knotweed.
Yes.
Look at it. Japanese knotweed is a monster.
We've just jumped over 2 rivers and we've come from knotweed free to knotweed kingdom.
Yep. Lots of things are broken here, but I found this and it is broken, but it just appeals to me. See around the bottom there's some relief pattern. Very pretty. Bit jaggedy, it's full of soil. If you turn it that way it'd be a plinth, but it's a bit uneven, isn't it? I don't know whether to take that or not. I probably won't, but I may.
I've cleaned up the bottle.
Oh, it's coming out very nice.
Now, doesn't that look a much nicer bottle
It
than it
does.
was full of mud?
Yeah.
And it has revealed those beautiful bubbles in the
Oh,
glass. Just there you can see the bubbles.
Very nice.
So that's got a little bit of age to it. Williams of Narberth. We'll check that out when we get home and then fill you in on the live show the history of the Williams company and what this bottle may have been full of at one time. If you'd like to see more finds from the rivers of Wales, check out the link just there or there, depending where Caroline puts it in the edit. And if you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up.
Doing, doing, doing.
But most importantly, till the next time, have fun. Bye.
Bye.